Hello everyone, welcome to another Modest Musings. My name is Fear Dragon, and let's get started by actually talking about one quick thing. I will not be doing any streams for the next 4 or 5 days because I'm going to Korea for the GSL Finals. I am super excited about this. I went to Korea in 2015 for the Pro League Finals. I think it was like the second to last Pro League Finals. Really awesome one that KT versus SKT won and everything. What with Zombie Grub. But yeah, this is gonna be my first time actually going to a GSL, which is amazing. I've been watching GSL for like 6.5, 7 years now, so really excited about that. Anyways, let's talk about our topic for today. So one thing that I have definitely been doing a lot more of lately, just because I've sort of prioritized making time for it, is laddering and playing Starcraft. I used to just feel like I didn't really have too much time, but then I realized it was kind of just in my own head. I just needed to make time for it, and so I did. But one thing that I think I do somewhat differently than a lot of other people that I always hear about or talk to is that I think I prioritize having fun more than a lot of other people do. And what I mean by that is not necessarily that I don't care at all about winning or losing. I do care, obviously, to some extent. And of course, if you're looking to improve, this isn't necessarily always going to be the right path for you. I think that there's still some value you can garner if you're trying to be even like a big WCS competitor and everything. I think there's a very negative attitude about the game a lot of the time where it's almost like people love to hate it, right? You love to hate on all of the things that frustrate you about the game. And I think sometimes that can be okay, oh, damn those Widow Mines, but like I think it hits a certain point, and I feel like it's hit that point for a lot of people where they start to resent the game, they start to dread playing, they start to just get more and more frustrated, and they kind of channel that rage back into their own play in a very negative way. And I think that even if it's not all the time, I think that a lot of people, including a lot of pro players, could really benefit from just thinking about the side of the game that they really enjoy. Let me give you an example. When I think about things that excite me and make me want to play StarCraft, I think of things like, oh, I would love to pull off this cool tactic or strategy where, I burrow a bunch of banelings and use mutas to bait marines into them. Or, I'm a cheeky fellow, so I like to think about, running in with 10 Dark Templar, killing off a hatch, and then blinking out of there before they can even react. They have like 4 seconds to react or something like that. That's fun and exciting to me. It may not always be the best strategy. It may not be implorable in every single game, but thinking about those things, actually one of the things, they don't even have to be incredibly ludicrous or extravagant. One of the things that actually excites me the most, one of my favorite things to do, and you'll notice if you watch my stream actually, and you watch me playing on the ladder, I like to build observers. One of my kind of, big selling points whenever I want to play StarCraft, I think, and I hype myself up, I think about this before I get started, is I think, man, I'm going to make so many observers versus Terran. I'm just going to have insane observer coverage, and no drop is going to get past me. I'm going to be shutting down everything. Drops are going to be coming. I'm going to be feedbacking and blinking on top of them like nothing else. I can warp in reactively and deal with that because I'm going to have like 8, 9 observers just spread across the map. And that excites me. That makes me, I want to play ladder right now. I have to go to work in a little bit, but I want to play right now. And I think it's important to have those kinds of driving motivational factors. And even if you're a WCS pro player or something, even if you're in the GSL Codas, I don't know if Scarlet or Major or something is watching this for whatever reason, I think there's a lot of value that you can gain from keeping that motivation alive, to keeping that excitement, that drive for the game. And even if that just means playing some games for fun, I think that's actually something that Scarlet does a lot of. She plays a lot of Protoss, and I think she enjoys it, even if it's a little bit from a sadistic standpoint. She enjoys it in her own way, kind of showing everybody how imba Protoss is and everything. But she has fun with it. She plays her own style. She makes mass Oracle. She makes tons of Adepts, which may sound like a lot of other Protoss players. But when I say mass Oracle, I mean like she makes 10 to 15 Oracles. She goes full Haas on people. But it's cool. It's fun. I think there are other players like No Regret that also come to mind who, like, he gets to play his style constantly, and he plays at a professional level. I know people will give No Regret a lot of hate, and he'll be the butt of many jokes, but realistically, he is very competitive at a top level. And it's amazing because he does it with this style that he has just pushed for, this very all-in-y cheesy style that he's just refined to the point where he can actually compete with it. It just goes to show you that if you are not a WCS level player, if you're not a GSL level player, you can actually do some phenomenal things with whatever your style is. And even if you are a WCS or GSL level player or something, you can still innovate and you can still push the game forward with your own play. I mean, people always talk about balance this and balance that, but at the end of the day, if you are good enough, you can always beat your opponent. That's honestly something I really think about StarCraft. If you are able to just outplay your opponent, you'll still be able to win. That's one of the most beautiful things. People always talk about this stuff with balance and saying, oh man, well, you know what? It's just unwinnable for Zerg. There's nothing... If you play better, if you're playing even with your opponent, maybe there's going to be some racial imbalances at the time, given the meta, patches, etc. But if you are really just outplaying your opponent enough, there is a physical possibility to outplay your opponent enough and just be better than them. Which ultimately is why we compete in StarCraft, or why people compete in StarCraft. It's just outplay your opponent. It's not about saying, well, my race has a 51% win rate, therefore I should win. No, it's about saying, I am going to play better than you. I'm going to outsmart you. I'm going to outposition you. I'm going to outmicro you. I'm going to outmacro you. Something I do is going to be better than what you do. And that's what's going to be the key to winning. I think keeping hold of that key, remembering what it is that drives you and excites you about the game is so important. Not just for improving or anything, but for the longevity and your own happiness. And even if that means having some fun sometimes and dicking around, remembering why you actually love this game, I think there's a lot of value in that. And I hope you guys decide to employ that. If you haven't laddered for a while, try go back in. And yeah, you know what? Your mechanics may be a little bit rusty. I've been there. If you ever want to see someone who really feels bad whenever their mechanics are rusty after coming back from casting an event, go watch Rotterdam stream. It's definitely a lot of fun, but very hard on himself. You know what? You'll make it through it. You'll get past it. You'll get back to at least some semblance of your mechanics, and you can try doing all those awesome things that you really enjoy doing. So I implore you guys, go have fun. Enjoy StarCraft with at least a part of your time. It's okay to feel some pain and suffering. It's okay, and it's actually important in the process of improvement if that's what your goal is. But if you're only feeling pain and suffering, you're going to grow to resent the game. And ultimately, you're not going to be enjoying it anymore. And that's a shame. StarCraft's an awesome game. So, with that being said, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, guys. I'm going to try to do a bunch of vlogging and all that stuff, but we'll see. If I'm really lucky, I'll snag a video interview with some people out in Korea. I know my boy Jon Snow's going to be there. Neeb should be there. Scarlet, Zombie Grub, Oli Moly. Obviously, the normal Korea crew, like Rapid and Artosis, Tasteless, etc. But I'll see if I can put something together. But anyways, have a wonderful weekend, guys, and keep StarCrafting.